Hey guys, Roni here, podcast time. It is Thursday, March 3rd. I just realized I never date my podcasts in the beginning. I should probably start doing that. I don't even know. I'm up to this is like my 50-something recording session, which means it's probably like my 70th video podcast. And I'm going to tell you, looking back at some of the old ones, I was like a baby. My hair was really long. It was really thin. I wasn't pregnant. I had a 3-year-old instead of a 5-year-old, or even like maybe a 2-year-old. So it's kind of fun to look back, and but it's also kind of hard not to look back and go, oh, my hair was longer, or oh, I was thinner then, or whatever. So it's kind of like a it's good and bad. It's weird. It's strange. I'm glad I have them all. They're really fun to look back. I've done so many now that I can't keep track. Like I used to know what I'd said in each one, and then I can refer to them and link to them. And now I know I'm answering questions I've already answered before, but I just don't remember answering them. It's pretty bad. But you'll have this. I guess radio shows talk about the same things over and over again, don't they? I mean, we have a specific niche here. We were talking weight loss, so there's only so many topics we can cover. So, speaking of, I'm going to get right into the questions. This is one of the newer ones. This is just from 3 days ago, and this is from Robin. And Robin says, "Hey, Roni." I love when they start here. "Hey, Roni, I was just wondering what your views was. Wait, let me start over. Hey, Roni, I was just wondering what your view was on how many calories per day a woman should take in. I always look it up and find different totals. Also, I was wondering how many days a week I should work out. Now, I know any is better than none, but I always seem to beat myself up if I can't fit in at least 4 days. Thank you for your time. You are extremely helpful." Well, I'm glad I could be of help, Robin. Okay. These are two really good questions, and two I can only give you my opinion on. Again, because I'm not an expert. But I think the reason why you find different calorie requirements for women in different places is because it varies greatly from woman to woman. I mean, just think about it, right? Like, I think when we take everyone always throws around the 1,200 calories a day. I mean, that's what I always heard. Everyone talks about you should eat 1,200 calories a day to lose weight or maintain your body weight or something like that. But it's really kind of bogus to have one recommendation for every single person, or every single woman on the planet in this case. It's gonna, first of all, we all have different metabolisms. So there's that. We're all different sizes, heights, body types. We all have different lifestyles. Some of us work, our work is active. Some of our work is passive. Some of us has kids we're running around. Some of us don't. Some of us go to the gym for an hour a day. Some of us don't. So I think even trying to attempt to answer how many calories somebody should bring in broadly and give a general recommendation is just not, you just can't. It's just, there's too many variables at play. What's probably a better approach is to, if you were really curious about your own, is to start tracking calories and your weight and start charting it. I mean, I know it's a lot of work and it could seem kind of obsessive to some people. But I mean, really, if you're really curious, I think the only way to do it would be to honestly track your calories and track your weight and see if you're gaining or losing. I mean, really similar to what the maintenance plan of Weight Watchers always was. They're not using calories, they were using points. But the idea was once you reached your goal weight, to eat a base level amount of points, and at the end of the week, see if you gained or lost. And if you gained, then lower your points by 2, and if you lost, then up your points by 2, or something like that, until you found what point total worked for you. So, I mean, you could do the same thing with calories, but I think trying to have a base recommendation it's just not gonna work. And I was never a calorie counter, so I can't even tell you, I ate about 1,500 calories a day. I think if you translated my points to calories, which is again, it's all estimation. it probably was around 1,500 calories a day. But then again, I was nursing, so that changed. I was running around after toddler, so then that changed. I have an office job, so that might be different from you. I have a friend who used to work at a golf course as a groundskeeper. I mean, her 8-hour job a day was burning massive amounts of calories compared to me sitting in a computer, bobbing my head to music all day. It's just not the same. So I think you need to find what works for you and not be so obsessive over some kind of generic recommendation. And maybe even go down the route of more intuitive eating and eating until you're satisfied and filling the calories that you do can take in, with whole foods and those kinds of things. And then if you want to track and if you're curious, then track. There's so many great websites. Like I used to be a big user of I don't want to say the wrong thing, but I think it's fitday.com. Pretty sure it's fitday.com. I actually can still log in under my old account and see food journals I kept in like 2003 or something. It's really. But I mean, you can basically just enter in your food and it keeps a calorie count for you, and other nutrients, carbs and sugars and all those things. I mean, I think Spark has something similar, and there's tons of tools out there that can help you do that. I'll link to a few that I know underneath the video. Your other question is about working out and how many times you should work out. And I think you hit the nail on the head when any is better than none. I mean, I think ideally, my goal for myself, and again, the pregnancy it's getting in the way just a little bit, is to do something consciously active every day. And that might be vastly different from other people's definition of working out, like what the workout recommendation would be. Like for me, it may be a 10-minute walk after dinner one day, and then the next day it may be a trip to the gym for a boot camp class. And and then the next day it could be a 3-mile run or something like that. So it's just the idea. Like what I really try to do is really just set up a goal to do something, what I'm going to call consciously active. So it's very easy for me, and I'm going to assume this is probably true for a lot of other people, for me to go through my whole day and not really have any movement. I mean, that sounds really bad. I mean, I work from home, but even when I went into the office, I would, I get up, I can get up, shower, get the kid on the bus, get to work, sit at my desk all day, eat my lunch at my desk, get back in the car, drive home, come home, cook dinner, make dinner, eat with the family, clean up, get the kid in the bath, get him down, read a story, settle in, watch TV, write a few posts, do whatever, and go to bed. And literally, my body just went, I moved from sit position to sit position to sit position, I'm in the car, and then I'm at my desk, then I'm back in the car, then I'm sitting at my kitchen table, then I'm, and then I'm on my couch. So, for me, that's a reality. That's the nature of the work I do and the lifestyle I'm in. So, to combat that, I make it a goal to do a conscious, active thing a day. Again, whether it's a dinner, whether it's an after-dinner walk, whether it's getting the family to go to the mall and do a couple laps, which, that sounds really basic, but it gets us up and it gets us moving. Like, that's what we did on Saturday. It was kind of chilly, if I remember, and we wanted to do something, and I said, well, why don't we go to the big mall? The big mall. We have a big mall. It's almost a mile around. I said, can we go to the big mall and do a lap? And my family my husband thinks I'm nuts, but when we're there, he wants to, go in the entrance that's the closest to the store he wants to go to, and so he can come right out. And I'm like, no, let's park on the other side and walk it. Just one lap. Can I do one lap? And then he's like, oh, okay. So, but that was my conscious movement for that day. So again, it's not some crazy sweat fest at the gym, but I don't know, for me, I feel like I made an effort to at least do something above and beyond my normal daily routine. Now, of course, I think for those of us who are, if we're losing weight or if we have specific fitness goals, just taking a walk around your mall isn't good enough, But I think for those days where you can't fit things in, and for me that helps, it kind of helps me keep the momentum and not feel like I'm failing, or I'm not doing enough, or it makes me feel like, you know what, I'm doing what I can when I can, and it's going to have to be good enough. So maybe today I only took a walk, but tomorrow I'll go for a run, and the next day I can squish in a step class, or whatever it may be. And I think it helps that mentality. So, I mean, Robin, I wouldn't shoot for a specific number of, I would shoot for a specific number of workouts a day, but again, you already nailed it on the head. Don't beat yourself up. Any is better than none, and just kind of being conscious and active. I mean, I think the FDA or whoever recommends things recommends what? Anymore, I don't even know what it is. I think it's like 30 minutes of activity a day or 5 days a week. Or see, again, like the calories. It all depends on who you are and what your lifestyle situation is. So conscious movement daily, mix it in with some really good workouts now and then, and I think you would be fine. That's just my opinion. Okay, I'm going to move on. Great question, though. Actually, that was a really kind of fun question to answer. Okay, I feel like I'm shaking you because I have you on a pedestal because I wanted some height. Okay, next question is from Christy. Do I sound like I'm running out of breath? I'm in that stage of pregnancy. I don't know if you hear. I'll even show you. Look. Big belly. I'm in that stage of pregnancy that just sitting here, I'm out of breath. So you have to bear with my huffing and puffing. All right. Next question is from Christy. And Christy says, I love your blog. I've been following for a couple of months and haven't read back, so don't know your story with Weight Watchers. My question is regarding Weight Watchers. When you were doing it, did you only do the allowed points, or did you dip into your weeklies? Also, did you use your exercise points? Do you think it is individual for each person whether they lose if they use their weeklies or not? I found that the weeks that I use more of my weeklies, I gain. But if I stay in my allotted points with maybe a few exercise points used, I lose. What's your take? Oh, Chrissy, really similar to Robin's question. It all depends on you, right? So everyone's going to have their own, unique situation. So for me, what I found, and you guys have to remember that I lost weight on the old Weight Watchers plan, so I don't know if that's going to change, if this approach will be the same for me even on the new plan when I go on it. Do you know what I mean? But for me, on the old plan, what I found worked for me was to stick to my daily points as much as possible and use the weeklies more as overflow. You know what I mean? So I didn't set out to eat them, but if I was hungry at the end of the day and I was over my points, I didn't freak out if I had to use them. And I would say on average, I probably used, how many did you get? I don't even remember how many you get anymore. 35? I probably used about 10 to 15 a week. Some weeks I'd use all of them. I actually specifically remember having weigh-ins where I did use them all. And I would say to the person weighing me in, I would say, I just want to stay the same this week. I just want to stay the same this week. Because I used all my weeklies, and I just assumed I would gain, and I would actually have a loss. And it always made me laugh. And the person weighing me in would always say, well, you're following the plan. That's good. I was like, I know. I just assumed that if I ate more, you know what I mean, whatever it might be. So I didn't use them all routinely, but I also didn't shy away from using them. And my approach for exercise points, because at that time I wasn't really working out traditionally, I really was just staying active, like I just talked about, like taking walks at the mall, or taking the baby to the park, or dancing around the house. I wasn't like weight training or running or taking step or something like that. And so my philosophy was that I kind of ignored exercise points or activity points because I really wasn't doing like specific workout only things. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if that makes a lot of sense. I was just trying to interject activity in my lifestyle. So I think if I would, and we'll see how I do on the new plan once the baby comes, and I do, because I will be following Weight Watchers while I am working out to work out, like while I'm running or training for an event or weightlifting. So I think it's going to be a whole new experience for me. And I think in that case I might start counting them. But again, the points have all changed, so it's completely unknown. I have no idea. So I can only give you what worked for me in the past, Christy, and that was my approach. And I do think, my take on it really is that it's really, really individual. I know, and I've had conversations with people who cannot touch the weekly points at all. Like their daily allotted is perfect for them to be in weight loss, and that's what they stick to. And then I have other people who won't lose unless they dip into their weekly points because, they're not eating enough food and their body's just holding on to the calories that they do take in. So again, it's vastly, vastly different from person to person. I don't think there's a right way. And just like with Robin, figuring out a calorie daily need, you're going to have to kind of figure out your own point need based on how the scale is moving or not moving. So another wishy-washy answer to your question, Christy. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm going to move on. I think I have another Weight Watcher question, too. Sometimes I go through little Weight Watcher spats. I feel like a Weight Watcher meeting discovered me, and then I get all these Weight Watcher-related questions, which is really funny. Okay, deep breath. Question 3? Is this question 3 or 4? I don't even know. I have pregnancy brain. Okay, next question, regardless of what number it is from Amanda. And Amanda says, "Hi, Roni. Thanks so much for all you do and being such an inspiration. I have been re-listening to all your podcasts on my walks and drives just to fill my head with the, quote, 'it's no big deal, not the end of the world' perspective, end quote. That is so healthy. Now, on to my question. I have been on Weight Watchers since June 2009, so that's almost 2 years, right? I lost 32 pounds in my first 16 weeks, like clockwork, and then it stalled out, and I only dropped a few more pounds for a grand total of 40 that I have kept off until about 2 months ago when half of it came back. So I'm now needing to lose about 60 more to be at my goal. I have been inspired by the new Weight Watchers program. I'm into new Weight Watcher program questions. This is great. New Weight Watcher program, and really enjoy it when I can stick to it. It is all a mental issue for me right now. One of your suggestions that I've been following and love is having popcorn available on a regular basis. The problem is that it affects the scale significantly. If I have popcorn the night before, I'm a daily weigher, I could be up as much as 6 pounds the next day. My question is, did you notice this as well? Is it because I'm salting the popcorn? How do you eat popcorn without salt? I don't. What I have chosen to do is not to have popcorn within 2 days of my weigh-in to avoid the emotional devastation of being up at the official weigh-in. Thoughts or perspectives are appreciated. Thanks for taking the time. Okay, Amanda. Okay, I am. She's right. I'm a huge popcorn fanatic. I've actually weaned myself off of the popcorn obsession. It hasn't been as bad as it once was. But while I was losing, popcorn was my go-to snack. And really mostly because you get a lot of it. So you can have like this huge bag of popcorn that can last me like a half hour as I'm, not even that, but it lasts me a long time as I'm eating kernel by kernel or taking handfuls and shoving it in my mouth, which is what I normally do. And the equivalent amount of, like, say, chips or pretzels or whatever, they're denser, so you don't get as much. And you guys probably know from listening to my podcast, I am all about volume. I like to eat. I'm not ashamed. I just sometimes I go through stages where I want to eat. So I look for snacks that I get the most bang for my buck. And popcorn, for me, is one of those snacks. And yes, I eat a whole, like, large bag of popcorn. To me, the stupid little 100-calorie pack popcorn's just not enough popcorn. Anyway, so yeah, it was a lifesaver for me. And while I was losing, honestly, my routine was I would save 6 points. And again, these are old Weight Watcher points, so bear with me. I'm not doing Point Plus at this point. But on the old plan, I would save 6 points. 4 points for a large bag of popcorn and 2 points for an ice cream sandwich every night, almost every night, probably at least 5 nights a week. And while I was losing, that was like my evening routine. I very much subscribe to the mentality, and I started this concept back then, was that I'm not fighting myself anymore. I'm not fighting it. I'm a nighttime snacker. I love to sit in front of the TV at night and eat while I'm watching. I mean, the husband has his bag of Doritos or whatever he's snacking on, because let me tell you, the husband is worse nighttime snacker than me, and it makes me angry that he doesn't have a weight problem. It really, I don't know how he does it. Well, I do know how he does it. He barely eats anything all day and then just takes in all this junk calories at night. It's really, really frustrating. But, so between him snacking next to me and just my own urge to, you know, munch on something while I'm watching a movie or while I'm watching CSI or some other show or whatever, I didn't want to fight it. I didn't want to sit there miserable and just constantly fight myself all the time. So instead, again, while I was losing and I was counting points, I was like, okay, I'm going to save these points so that I can do that. And that was my routine. And I would have a whole bag of popcorn and an ice cream sandwich, which would last me my TV watching. Most of it. You know what I mean? And it really, really helped me. So, again, that's just my approach. But, Amanda, you're talking about, for you, popcorn affects the scale. I was also a daily weigher at that time, and I did not notice scale issues when I would eat popcorn. I did notice it when I ate other things. Like, I could also show a 6-pound gain overnight just from going out and getting Chinese food, or even fast food. Like, if I ate a traditional fast food, you know, if I just had, like, even a Happy Meal, like a cheeseburger and fries, like, I don't know how much sodium's in that or whatever it is that's causing it, but I would have a significant increase on the scale the next day. And I knew, as you should know, you better know, that it's not a real true gain. There's no way you're gaining 6 pounds of fat overnight. It just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. I mean, I can't even say anything else for that. So the fact that you're a daily weigher and you're seeing the pattern of when you eat X, this is what happens on the scale, I think is a good thing, because you can start to really break that dependency on the scale. So you say, in your email even, you say, it's devastating for you. And what I would say is that it shouldn't be, because you know exactly what's causing it. But at the same time, I understand, like, you want your official weigh-in to show a loss. That's the whole goal. That's why you're on the plan. So I totally get it. It's hard for me to say, like, I haven't, like, since I didn't have the same popcorn issue, what I would do if I was you is find maybe possibly something else that doesn't affect the scale as much. So, I'm trying to think. I always use the butternut squash fries because that's one of my favorites. But I'll use that example again. Like, maybe your nighttime snack becomes even something a little healthier. Oh, I know what I started doing. Actually, I started doing carrot sticks. It sounds so cheesy and diety, but seriously, I would dip carrot sticks in salsa. And I realized after a while, like, you don't need chips. Like, there's something about dipping things in other things. You know what I mean? Like, you want to dip a tortilla in salsa. And I love dipping. Bean dip and salsa are two of my biggest things. And I remember when I was losing, I was like, okay, I don't want to waste or use, or I don't have the points for traditional corn chips. So I started thinking, okay, what else can I dip? Because I really want to satisfy the dipping. So I started carrots in black bean dip, delicious. Celery in black dip. So maybe you need to gravitate towards a different snack bulker. Again, not fighting your natural inclination to want a snack, but maybe your body responds to popcorn a little bit differently. So you can either choose to accept that the scale is going to blip after you have popcorn, which isn't a big deal, or you could try to find a different bulking snack that allows you to satisfy the cravings that you have, or the need to want a snack without taking in, you know, a lot of excess calories, those kinds of things. So I think you just have to kind of maybe find a substitute, or just kind of deal with the blip, since you can account for the blip on the scale. Because over time, even if you are showing a 6-pound blip, that's what I'm going to call it, from the popcorn, if you're constantly showing the 6, or not, did I say pound? I mean pound. If you're constantly showing a 6-pound blip, over time, since your actual body weight will be decreasing, it will still show your loss over time. So it's a matter of how you can mentally kind of get past that and just say, I know it's a blip, it's not a big deal. And maybe that is a good exercise for you to do, is to just accept it. Or if you don't want to, then find another bulker. So I think the idea is, my idea really isn't everyone needs to gravitate towards popcorn and adopt a popcorn habit, because not everybody likes popcorn, and that just happened to be what worked for me. The idea is to find some go-to bulker snacks. Does that even make sense? Bulker. Bulking. Snacks with bulk. However you want to say it. But to find some go-to things that are guilt-free for you. And I kind of shudder to use the word guilt, but I think a lot of us still kind of have guilt. And again, it's not about not having what we want. It's about compromising and sometimes going with this weird urge we have to just want a snack when we're not hungry, and finding good choices to do so. So for me, it was popcorn. Maybe for you, it's celery and, oh, you know what might be good? I'm really, and I know I'm not normally a fat-free person, I'm really into the fat-free cream cheese right now. And I don't know why, and I know it's not real cheese, but it's so yummy. I don't know if I got used to the taste of it or something, but I find it so yummy. And so I've been kind of fantasizing about celery sticks with fat-free cream cheese. It's kind of a weird fantasy, but it just sounds like it would be good. But that's something else that I could make a whole plate of them and have fun while I'm watching TV, eating. I'm sad. I realize this. I'm embracing it. All right, I'm going to move on to the next question. I'm running out of time, and I don't even know what question I'm on. How sad is that? Okay, actually, I think this is the last one. It's from Kim. And Kim says, deep breath. No, I need to get my breath. Kim says, hi, Roni. Love your sites. You've been a great inspiration for me in trying to maintain a healthy lifestyle for me and my family. My question is, how do you reconcile being on vacation with eating right? I find myself reverting to the all-or-nothing attitude that you talk so much about, and which I'm a victim of, especially when I'm on vacation. I feel like I want to enjoy myself. I mean, it's vacation. For example, I don't want to worry about every penny I'm spending. I simply accept that the vacation is costing X amount of dollars, and that's it. I want to be on vacation from laundry, cooking, finances, and yes, counting calories. I figure if I'm going to want ice cream after dinner while we walk along the boardwalk, I should be able to. Wait, I should be able to, right? It's my vacation, darn it. But then that all or nothing kicks in, and I think, well, just forget about it. Eat whatever and as much as I want. If I'm going to want that ice cream, I know I'm going to want to eat IHOP every morning, and I'm going to want to order fried zucchini before dinner, etc., etc., etc. I'll just, quote, start again when I get back. How do you wrap your mind around these issues when you're on vacation? Thanks, Kim. Okay, I love this question. I don't know if I'm going to be able to answer it where it makes any kind of sense, but I'll totally just blab about it for a little while. I feel the same way about vacations. I think most people do. When you're taking a vacation, you are escaping every day. And I totally agree with you, and I'm with you. When I go, if you guys have been reading the blog for any significant amount of time, you know that I'm a Jersey Shore girl. I vacation the Jersey Shore. I've been going every year since I was a kid. I'm a boardwalk girl. I can walk up and down the boardwalk a billion times and never get tired. It's one of my favorite things to do. And when I'm at the beach, I get ice cream almost every day. I do. We eat a lot of pizza. I don't worry about it, but I know what you're saying with the all or nothing mentality, because even though I'm doing that, I am, in a weird way, I have like a system of checks and balances in my brain where somehow over the course of the last 5 to 6 years, I've lost the I'll just start again when I come back mentality. And even though I'm indulging while I'm on vacation, I'm conscious. And I think there's this is what I mean when I say I don't know if I'm going to be able to explain this right. But there's definitely a mentality shift. Because when I used to go out on like all-out crazy vacation binges, or even just it could be any, it didn't even have to be vacation, but it would be this concept of that all or nothing mentality. I ate this, I might as well. I ate this, I might as well. And when you're on vacation, the I ate this, I might as well is a week-long smorgasbord of just junk. Now when I go on vacation, I pick and choose my indulgences. And I do it in a way that's guilt-free. I don't want any guilt. I want to enjoy when I want to enjoy. But there's a level of consciousness there. So, for example, I'll give you like a couple example days on our beach vacation. Every day the husband gets donuts. Every day. He's a little bit of a donut fanatic. He doesn't only eat one donut. He eats 3 chocolate glazed donuts. And could I have a donut with him every morning? I could. Now, I don't want one. I mean, it would be convenient for me to just go, oh yeah, pick me up this or whatever. We also do the bagel shop once a week, or we do the bagel shop too, so he might, instead of donuts, he'll do a bagel or whatever. But I also bring with me a couple boxes of cereal. I have a couple eggs in the fridge. I'll whip together like a quick scrambled egg in the morning and start my day off. I'd rather start my day off, how do I want to say it, like, not on the right foot, not a momentum thing. It's more like, the donut isn't that big of a deal for me. Like, how do I say this? Do I like a donut? Yeah. Is it something that I'm like, oh my god, I must have a donut, I'm on vacation? No, I can have a donut anytime I want. Like, that's not making my vacation special, right? It's not something that I can only get on the boardwalk. It's a Dunkin' Donuts donut. I can get it anywhere. Why would I waste the 300 calories or whatever the heck, it's probably even more than that, on a donut? That's just not what I want. I'd rather eat a healthy breakfast, you know, have a couple scrambled eggs or a bowl of all bran or something like that. And then when we go out for lunch for pizza later, I'm going to get a slice of Sicilian. Do you know what I'm saying? So I try really to keep the system of checks and balances in, that I'm not just eating things because it's convenient and I'm not living through somebody else's, like for him, that's his thing. That's what he wants. It's not what I want. So why waste? And that's the only way I know how to phrase it. Why waste the calories on them? And I think even that just small level of consciousness, because I'm telling you, 5-6 years ago, well, now it's like 7-8 years ago, I would have just, oh, he wants donuts, all right, I'll get a donut. One donut's not doing it for me, I'll get 2. So now I'm eating 2 donuts. Within an hour, I'm hungry again because the donuts just spiked my blood sugar, and now I'm starving. So now it's, oh, let's grab something on the boardwalk. And so now I've already consumed like enough calories before lunch to justify my entire day's worth. And why? Because somebody took a walk to Dunkin' Donuts? Like, it was just this unconscious stream of events that resulted in me consuming massive amounts of calories for no reason whatsoever. So now I keep a little bit more conscious, and I make good choices. There's that word, good and bad, whatever. I make the best choices I can for me, for my goals. And then when the time comes for me to indulge my vacation desires, like ice cream on the boardwalk or pizza for lunch, then I don't feel guilty about it, because all the other times I'm consciously deciding not to just fall off the bandwagon and eat a donut because someone handed it to me. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if that makes really any sense, and I really don't know how else to frame it, because my mentality, I mean, I think it's kind of a conglomerate, what's the word I'm looking for? It's kind of my experiences over these last 6 years that has brought me to this level of understanding that the all or nothing mentality doesn't work, and that what I always call, I'm statelessly dieting, even though I hate the word dieting, but that everything that I consume, I can't just flip a switch and say I'm not dieting now, or that I'm not, again, not the word dieting, but I can't flip a switch and say this doesn't count. Everything counts, and I think embracing that and going in open-eyed and not feeling guilty or beating yourself up, because I think sometimes, like, let's say, by the way, there is a day or two that I do have a donut, where I'm going, yeah, just grab me a donut, it'll be fine. I don't use that day to throw me off some tangent where I'm like, well, I had the donut. Let me just throw this day away, move on. I just go, I had the donut. Tomorrow I won't. You know, like, I don't know. I don't know. It's really hard. It's hard for me to sometimes frame it in words because it's really such a minute mental shift. It's like there's something that clicked that made me realize that all or nothing just doesn't work, and you have to do what you can when you can without guilt. And all those choices, that choice not to have that donut, adds up. And you don't think it does, but it really does. So even though you may gain on vacation, I gain on vacation every year, it's not that big of a deal. I could have, if I let the all gain even more, or I could have, well, even that, you don't even want to go down the could have path. Do you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. The only thing I can really say is that everything counts. I'm going to link back to my post on stateless dieting, which may shed some light on all of my just mindless blabbing that I just did that probably makes sense to absolutely no one at all. But Kim, I totally understand you. And you know what, as vacation season approaches, I mean, we have a few months, but it's definitely coming. I do a couple posts on vacation, and I actually sometimes specifically, I think when I went to, actually I can link back to these too. When I went to Disney this past year, I decided that I would keep a food journal. Just because I thought it would be fun and kind of give me an extra, so I took pictures of what I ate, stuff like that. That was really, not that I'm recommending you do that, because that could get a little obsessive. And I only did it for that 1 week, but it was really fun. Just to give you a little insight into my vacation mindset. That might help. Okay, I'm going to go, since I'm just now talking and nothing of use is actually coming out of my mouth. Plus I'm running overtime. So I will see you guys later. I have lots of things to do today, and now I'm just blabbing, so I'm going to go. Alright, thanks for listening this week, guys, and I will be back next week. Full term? Will I be full term? I will be almost full term in this pregnancy, so wish me luck. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.